we'll pick it up.
Okay, right when it starts, we'll grab it, and that'll be the first match that we watch. I mean, I'm really excited. The Clyde Patriots game is that's a game that could be the finals. You know what I mean? Obviously, it can't consider the top 8, but that could be a finals game, a very high-profile finals game.
We got one. Vizard versus
Trainer Chris. Oh, we're coming right out of the gates with an A+ matchup.
All right, so Rumham's character is Trainer Chris here.
You're right. And I love that he's emoting. He's being a real human being by showing some emotion.
A real human being. And Vizard is a people's champion.
Vizard is someone who's really known for playing a lot of fast cycle elixir collector decks. Playing someone who he runs Ice Spirit and Skeletons in a lot of his elixir collector decks in order
in his Hog deck.
Yeah, even in the Hog Rider deck to get a lot of them. So Mega Minion comes out for Trainer Chris.
Oh, it looks like it's gonna be Giant Prince.
I love Giant Prince, such a good deck.
Oh, Mega Minion is going to come out on top for Vizard because the Giant is actually tagged on. Oh, and beautiful positioning on Musketeer. A big zap is going to take the Musketeer down, and I think that Giant is going to get burned. Man. And this is why Minions have their place in the match as opposed to Mega Minions, just for that scenario itself.
Yeah, that's actually why a lot of Lava Hound decks play both, and it's really not like an either-or thing, is you need the minions to distract against slow firing, things like Inferno Dragon and Inferno Tower get completely goofed up by minions, but the Mega Minion is good, I think, against pretty much everything else.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go. Can Mega Minion stop this Prince? Probably not alone, but with Ice Wizard, and the charge does hit! The difference between hitting that charge and not hitting that charge is huge, because now that Ice Wizard, which might do 300 damage on the counterattack, is really going to do nothing.
Yeah. Especially once its guards fall, the Ice Wizard is just going to get plinked by the tower and taken down. No problem. Well, somebody's confettiing.
So Chicken Bob is saying in chat, even though he fell short of the top 8, we did watch Chicken Bob's Inferno Dragon deck. It never lost.
Wow.
It was his other deck that lost twice. So if you are looking for an Inferno Dragon deck, go check out earlier in the previews Chicken Bob's deck. Yeah, that might be a good one to go with.
I feel like Inferno Dragon is the perfect card for Chicken Bob as well, just by his play style and the decks that he likes to play. Inferno Dragon just seems like a great defense then offense card, and Chicken Bob loves his defense.
The one thing about the live spectating is we usually don't get to do the match previews and stuff for this first game, but here we are. Vizard is we know now that he's got a Giant Prince deck.
Yes.
This is a pretty standard, I wouldn't say it's a pretty standard meta deck now. I think the Mega Minion has just slotted right into a lot of those decks very effectively. Unfortunately, it looks like his Musketeer is going to walk ahead.
So the big thing, there's the poison. That's what I was going to comment on is...
weird poison, unless he's doing that. He's doing that to...
He's trying to mind game. He both put the poison on the right side and the Mega Minion, which is a heavy tell. That's why Trainer Chris put the Inferno Tower on the left side.
Got it.
What that means, though, is the Giant moves to the Inferno Tower much quicker.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's like a spatial thing. He's blocking it out.
Yep. Unfortunately, not able to get that push through, but we'll look at the cycle. They're in double elixir time. So
3 collectors out, too.
Oh, yes, that's the big thing, is that Trainer Chris has been able to stick to the collector plan, whereas Vizard has really tried to go for it, and those pushes haven't been really successful at all. I mean, there's over 1,500 damage left on Trainer Chris's tower. So in that unfortunate gap there, Trainer Chris has been able to get a huge elixir advantage and pretty much is going to try to parlay that into a win. Now, even though there's no damage really on Vizard's tower yet, we got 2.5 minutes of double elixir time in order to push that through. That's more than a full game's worth of elixir left.
Yep. Now finally he's a tied in Vizard's seat, and he actually chooses to play a collector, so he's going to try to match. He's going to try to match the collector game.
And just look at that, though. Even though Vizard's tower were perfect, just like that, he's now behind in damage and behind in elixir.
Yes. The game can change very, very quickly, and it's difficult because Vizard has to spend maybe another 2 minutes catching back up to the lead that Trainer Chris has built himself across the first 2 minutes of the game.
We've seen this in some games, too, where I think Vizard might be better off playing the elixir collectors doubled up on the right side just to force those poisons on the other side. I mean, it can be really bad because they'll still sometimes take that happy elixir trade, but at least it forces a choice there. That elixir collector on the left side was just easy bait, really, for the minor poison push.
Ooh, and again with that Musketeer positioning, Vizard seems to like to use that, and it actually avoids a poison.
There we go.
He's able to take down the
and the second Giant's coming in, so even if there's
it's really slow though. The Inferno Tower is going to pop up again.
No. And
the Ice Spirit
doesn't jump across the river. It doesn't do that.
Ice Spirit, please.
He did zap it though. He was able to zap it.
That Giant is pretty healthy, but he's going to be able to look how slow that Giant is.
It's the double Ice Wizard, because the Ice Wizard and the Inferno Tower together bumped up, and the Miner retargeted the Musketeer, so that second Ice Wizard's still alive and still shooting.
And so, you know, even though Vizard did not do any damage in that push, what he has done is pull the Elixir game back into his seat.
You're right.
Trainer Chris only just got to double Elixir Collector, and now Vizard has the opportunity to match, but it looks like Vizard, with 1 minute left in the game, he might have made the conscious decision, I'm going to try to go for the win now.
Yeah, like, I don't even know. This game could theoretically go to a draw. I mean, there's a minute left.
No. He needs to cycle the Inferno Tower, and there was no Ice Wizard slowing down the Giant, so it might be too close. One punch! Just one.
Oh, one punch.
Oh.
Never been so happy about one punch. But you know, this shows what an expert Minor Inferno deck looks like. I've tried to play these decks on the ladder. I'm terrible at these Minor Inferno. I can't do it, right? But you can see here, Trainer Chris is just really showing off.
Left side
like,
Inferno.
Oh, the left side Inferno, and the poison's hitting all of it. I don't think he's going to be able to get another Inferno in time, but if he can get any damage in with this Prince or anything, he might be able to get that other Inferno down for the win.
Vizard should be trying to focus on poisoning. Poison. You only need
maybe
a little bit.
Maybe one giant push, but the Giant's not going to get there. There's too much stuff there.
It might be a draw.
Is this a draw?
I think it's a draw.
I think so.
Oh, no.
And at this point, I think you'd call the draw better for Trainer Chris. I think early on, you would have never really seen this. So, guys, this is worth mentioning what their draw rules are.
One more poison.
We are not going to replay. So to recap everyone on our Super Magical Cup rules, draws are not replayed. So that means game 1 of their match is a draw. Yes. They will play game 2 of their match. Both can choose whatever decks they want. No deck is eliminated. Mm-hmm. If they go to, say, like a second draw, and then Trainer Chris wins game 3, it's over, right? Like that's you win one win, 2 draws. That's the best of 3 matchup. Mm-hmm. If they both win a game, so if like Chris wins the next game and then Vizard wins the 3rd game, we go to a sudden death game 4, where the first tower down is automatically the end of the matchup.
Yes.
We don't replay draws, and the reason we don't do that is because we don't want a situation like that where it goes like draw, then draw, then draw, then draw. Like at some point the match has to end. Mm-hmm. So what we do is basically we do the best of 3. The draws just counts as one of them, and then if we need to go to a sudden death match, we do it. If the sudden death game ends in a draw, whoever has the lower single tower hit point loses. So in that situation, if that was the sudden death game and it ended in a draw, Trainer Chris would have lost because he had a single tower that was at like 200 health, whereas the other player had more health in their towers.
All right. Waiting on Trainer Chris and Vizard to start up again. And I think they're
probably thinking they're taking a break. They're walking in circles, maybe, and stretching out.
How many tournament draws have you seen?
I think that's probably like the 3rd.
Very few. Very, very few. I would say I was really worried when we originally wrote these rules that we were talking about were originated for the Season 1 championship, and it's because we were worried about seeing a lot of draws. But I've been shocked that even though Minor Inferno, these really grindy defensive control decks, are very popular, very rarely go to draws. I agree that in the top 8, I think we've maybe seen 2 draws all season in top 8 matchups, and often it didn't matter because like one player would win games 2 and 3 or something like that. Or would win game 1, draw, and then win game 3, something like that.
All right. We're back in it. Now the question is, are they going to be playing the same decks?
Did they mix it up at all? So we know, actually, they're switched sides now, too. So Trainer Chris is actually on the blue side, potentially still playing that Inferno Tower deck, which Inferno Tower was the key card. Actually, one of the most underrated features of this format of tournaments is the randomized arena. It makes it so much more fun to watch. You get a lot more variety in what you're looking at. I'm sick of Legendary Arena.
Yeah.
What the hell's Musketeer?
These stupid builders when you jump into Legendary Arena.
Yeah, right. They're a little different. I like builders. Doon, 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 doon. And a bunch of like little hammers making. I like it.
Oh man.
It's looking like the same decks so far.
Yep. It looks like the same decks.
So I think the key here then is probably the Prince versus the Inferno Tower, because we know how the sort of grindy Giant versus Inferno Tower goes. It never works, right? Like both players just sort of throw Elixir away, no one actually gets there.
Yeah.
If Vizard can land a Prince on the Inferno Tower, done, right? Like you're in real trouble. I think if Vizard can learn from last game, it's to never quit the Collector thing.
Yes,
like, I think
definitely that put him far behind.
Yeah.
That cost him the most time, actually, in overtime, trying to catch up from that 3 Elixir deficit.
Yeah. Oh, it's right. I'm sorry. Carlos Silva makes a good point. The host chooses because these are friendly battles. But in actual tournaments and challenge mode, it's randomized arena. So I'm glad that our players are picking cool arenas as opposed to just picking Legendary the default every time.
Here we go. 1 of 1. Exhibit A.
The poisons are just so valuable on both sides every time.
This is actually a good point because there are going to be a lot of tit for tat early on here in the game. Do you think poison needs to be changed, nerfed? Like, I definitely think it is the strongest spell in the game, but I'm wondering what you would do to it to make it.
I think it's
better.
the fact that it covers multiple scenarios, both long-standing, denying cheapy cards being played, which is the majority of how Clash Royale is played right now, is low elixir, cheap cards to try to gain value. Poison denies a lot of that, so that's one huge benefit already. The fact that it slows things down, both the tower and Inferno Tower, you will be shocked at what difference it makes if you do a giant poison push as opposed to just giant, how much faster that giant dies, both from the Crown Tower and the Inferno Tower shooting it.
Right. Like, I definitely, I think the big problem with poison is that, so it does the exact same damage as Fireball, right? So you're like, okay, cool, it's the same as Fireball, but the slowed movement and slowed attack speed both prevent so much damage to your troops and allow extra damage to be dealt that I feel like it should just do less damage than... Like, I feel like if you want to deal with elixir collectors, then you Fireball, and if you want the crowd control, you get poison. But the fact that poison is just as good as Fireball, and then also has this extra utility, and lasts for 10 seconds, which is another thing. Like, if it did the same damage but only lasted for like 6 seconds or 8 seconds, it wouldn't be so good as like a complete range
denial.
Or the radius. And it's even a bigger radius than Fireball. So like, there's so many situations where I think it's better that I wish there was some more choice between those two cards.
Or maybe it's even pushing Fireball to be more effective because that spell largely has been ignored for a long time now.
So I think, I mean, right now these towers at the very start of overtime are already like both lower than they were in the last game. So I think this game is not going to go to a draw. The knowledge of sort of what each player is playing and how those pushes are going, they can transfer that knowledge from game 1 into game 2 and just avoid the sort of like information poking things that got them into the draw in game 1. And that's a great poison right there.
At some point, you come off the collector game because you think the game is going to end, but now that they know this has to go 3 minutes in overtime.
Although no collectors on the board right now. Seems like they both might have gotten caught up into it.
Oh no!
Oh, that Inferno was going down. The Giant's coming in for Vizard. Oh, that Mega Minion might be saving the day there. No, Psych! One punch!
It's done.
One swipe. No. Oh, you're right. Now it's one poison away.
Yep.
So Vizard just needs one more poison. There is an opportunity though for Trainer Chris to pull this off, but the Giant is there for health, like to block just like an HP wall, and Vizard just needs to hold on for one more cycle worth of cards.
Oh no, the BM zap even.
The zap and he pre-GG'd that.
Oh no.
Oh no!
So Vizard goes up one game.
Oh my god.
It looks like we're not able to modify stream bracket right now. Oopsies. Oh, here we go. Now I can. Yeah, got it. So Vizard. Oh wait, nope, doesn't win the match. It's like. Oh yeah, let me put the screen blocker up. Vizard goes up one game. Doink.
Cool.
And we're about to start game 3 of that match. Whenever they start it, we'll live spectate that one as well. No match previews, but we can take a moment out of match previews. So Vizard's Giant Prince deck is off the table.
Yes.
He has to play with his second deck, whatever that one is, which we'll find out real soon here. Trainer Chris can change or may continue.
Trainer Chris said nice BM in the clan chat.
Nice. Here's the thing though. That's not bad manners to me. That's winning with style. That's like and one tricks, you know what I mean? That's like, I could just go for the layup, but I'd rather alley-oop for the win.
That's the pop-up.
Yeah, buddy, this is what we're here for. I'm here for some showmanship.
Oh, now they're in whatever this
Builders or this is my home arena. Andrew, if your deck, if your team, if your whatever, your Clash Royale squad was a football team, what would their home arena be?
Probably the new ice arena.
Like Frozen Peak?
Yeah.
A lot of Frozen Peak fans. So Vizard is opening up with one of these air decks. I wonder if he's got the Inferno Dragon or if he's sticking with the classic Lava Hound. And of course, the big question is there a balloon?
Ooh,
How many balloons are we going to see?
Blue.
And it looks like Trainer Chris is sticking with that Minor Inferno deck. Still thinks it's the best deck.
Play
Doesn't
the
want to switch it
Minor.
up.
Play the Minor now, Vizard. There it is. Oh boy, just in time.
The Minor takes the aggro. The poison has to come in, and the poison is actually really good against all those pups, but I don't think he wanted to use the poison necessarily against that.
Right.
Yeah. 600 damage.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the poison was there. 600 damage.
And the Inferno Tower wasn't even dealt with. So now Vizard's next Lava Hound push can be prepared for Inferno Tower. This is actually an archetype I actually think Trainer Chris is at a disadvantage in this game because the Lava Hound decks are all very prepared for Inferno Tower.
Oh, and the lightning!
Oh, the lightning does
there
have
it
lightning
is.
as well. Last week I called it. I said Lava Lightning are going to be the new archetype, and while 2 Lava Hound decks won, there was no lightning. Neither
Lightning,
Pro
yeah,
Calls
it's
or
very
lightning.
sad.
But this is a bet right now. I think Trainer Chris is in a bad situation
Yeah.
because doesn't really have ways to maintain big offenses. Right? Trainer Chris just wants to minor poison, and that's it. Never actually wants to do like a real thing. Vizard is free to build up these massive pushes, right? Can even just eat a minor poison when he casts Lava Hound in order to be prepared for these big pushes that with lightning are going to blow out the defense.
He's playing his defense cards early too. They're going to be shot by the tower instead of dealing with the Lava Hound.
Yeah.
Yep, it's good. Trainer Chris might be relying on trying to cycle,
Yeah.
but he only has 1 collector out. It's not even double collector time.
Well, I think Trainer Chris is also maybe realizing that
It
this is the one of the few matchups where he cannot be the defense. Like he can't just sit back forever.
Oh no, and the push is already set up. There it is. Oh, nice use of the Ice Wizard debuff actually remained on the pups, but oh my god, lightning.
That wasn't a ton, but look, the pups are getting some damage, and the lightning cleared out all the junk basically, and just looked some more damage in there. Wow. Vizard is hungry for that title. Does not want to leave Super Magical Cup Season 2 without a belt, without a title belt to his name. Vizard, by the way, playing all the way from Malaysia, I believe. It's about 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
for Vizard right now.
He's killing it. His eyes are bloodshot.
Yeah,
It's
Vizard after dark.
We thought we drank a lot of Coke.
Yeah, right?
This guy is taking caffeine straight into the system. It's interesting. This time Trainer Chris was able to pop the Lava Hound before it got across the bridge.
And actually, within Lightning does 373. So here, with 3 seconds left, this Lightning will finish the game off.
Oh, no!
No! Psych! I'm wrong.
Arrows.
No, he doesn't have Zap. Okay, he has
There we
There's
go.
arrows.
Okay, he does have Zap. I was wrong. I thought it was
369. I think.
369. Okay, so I thought it was, a little something like that.